Okay, so part 2 of the test was matching a paragraph heading to a paragraph. The paragraph headings have been put back into the text for you, and let's just look at the reasons why this paragraph heading was the right one. Definition of corporate culture. Paragraph 1 began with a question: how should a director think about the corporate culture of the company on whose board he or she serves? And they go on to tell us that the management texts define corporate culture. They define corporate culture as a pattern of shared basic assumptions. The minute we see the word define, we know that it's connected to the heading definition of corporate culture. So these are the key words: define corporate culture, definition of corporate culture. Paragraph 2. Paragraph 2, the best heading for this paragraph was results of research on corporate culture. Why is this the best heading? Because the paragraph dealt with the results of a survey. And when we see the survey, the word survey, we already know that it's going to be something, a sekel. We know it's going to be something that's going to generate numbers or results. So that was the best answer for paragraph 2. Paragraph 3. Paragraph 3, the correct heading was Directors' Feelings About Dealing with Issues of Corporate Culture. And here the paragraph begins with, even so, many directors are less comfortable dealing with issues of corporate culture than they are with more easily quantified concepts like profitability or market share. That means that they're not comfortable with corporate culture because they're really not clear about what it is. It can't be measured. So the director's feelings about dealing with issues of corporate culture is reflected in the words less comfortable. And again, you have the same words, issues of corporate culture. That is the connection. Paragraph 4. The correct heading was an example from the field. In this paragraph, the author uses only one example, and it's Peter Browning's favorite example. What example is it? The example of the steel company, Nucor. And they speak about Nucor's culture and how the CEO had answered his own phone and emails and shared an assistant. They were using Nucor as an example of a company that had a very strong corporate culture. It was only one example. In paragraph 5, however, the correct answer was examples of how to share a corporate vision. Why examples? Because there were several examples, not just one. There was a 4-year scholarship, Milgot, to children of families. There was the idea that the company reduced hours but didn't make the workers redundant. Redundant means to fire workers. So the company tried to keep people on the job, but they maybe reduced hours. That's another example. There was another one of an incentive program, bonuses. And again, there was the idea of the shareholders, Ballet Maniot. So all of these are examples of how to share a corporate vision. And the last one was about maintaining corporate culture for future leaders. So what is it in the sentence, in the paragraph that connects back? If you look closely, you'll see that the paragraph talks about supporting the next generation of management. Supporting the next generation of management. Next generation is future leaders. So you have to look for keywords in each sentence, in each paragraph, in order to be able to find the best heading. Okay, let's move on to the questions. So, questions on the text. What is the author's purpose in writing the text? Why did he write it? Did he write it to discuss the corporate culture of Nucor Steel? No, that was only one example. Did he write it to define what corporate culture is? No, that was done in the first paragraph. It wasn't the reason for the whole text. Did he write it to argue against boards, vadot, determining corporate culture? No, he didn't take sides. He didn't say that they should or they shouldn't. He just said that he tried to convince the readers that they are the ones who are responsible for corporate culture. And in the text, the whole way through, you can see that he referred back to that idea. Okay? Where did he do it? He said it here, where he posed it as a question. And then he said it here, where Browning considers corporate culture an important part of the board's responsibilities. It's their responsibility. He also said it later on when he said that what should the directors do to be responsible? What can they do? And he also said that future management is responsible for the corporate culture. So that is the background for that one. According to Browning, corporate culture can be felt in many areas of organization. List 3 areas mentioned by Browning. We need Browning. So we have to go back to paragraph 1, where we can see that Browning said that corporate culture can be felt in an organization from everything from entrepreneurship, which is number 1, risk-taking, number 2, all the way down to the dress code, which is number 3. Okay, so it's very important here. We were asking about Browning. And in the next question, we asked for a result from the survey that provides evidence to support the claim that directors recognize the influence they have on a company's culture. So if we're going back to the survey, we have to look for evidence. What is evidence? Evidence means numbers. So this is still part of paragraph 2. Okay, paragraph 2, 79% say that they believe a board can change a company's culture. Okay, that's very important, that it's evidence. Some of you, for the first question, in the 3 ways that the first question was the 3 ways that the corporate culture can be felt. Many of you wrote the answers from paragraph 2, and you said, let's see, back to paragraph 2. You said, what did you say? Company ethics, risk-taking, and bottom line performance. These are answers about the survey. In a recent survey, the majority of directors say that culture has a powerful effect on the company's ethics, risk-taking, and bottom line performance. But in question 1, we were asking for Browning's ideas, not the ideas of the survey. And it says at the beginning, Browning considers corporate culture an important role of the board's responsibilities, and he's not alone. Who else thinks it's important? All the other people who were involved in the survey. In this case, it's the majority of directors. So this answer is not correct for question 1. The question in question 2, which asks about the results of the survey, would be the 79%. Okay? Another trick to note is that we would not ask the same question twice. So here it's about the survey, and here it's in paragraph 1. So what are all the true sentences about the company Nucor? Was there a large number of managers in comparison to the number of employees? No, the text said that there were 990 employees and fewer than 60 people in management. So the first question is not true. Okay, the first point is not true. The second one asks you if senior managers receive company perks. And actually, that's not true, because they said that there are no company jets, cars, or corporate jets. There are no company cars or corporate jets. So senior managers do not enjoy those benefits or perks. The text did go on to say that there were scholarships, milgot. They said that they don't fire workers when business is slow. They said they cut hours, but they don't make them redundant. Okay, where did we see that? Here. When business is slow, Nucor reduces hours, but doesn't make workers redundant. Okay, so that was the next one. And the last one was employees and shareholders trust Nucor. Yes, they do. And that was something that was proven by the fact that there were scholarships, that they were not fired, and that the shareholders were happy because they made more money on the stock market. Okay? So, why, according to the text, do Nucor's board members make time to visit the sites? They do it to support the next generation of management. And that's what also was the title of the last paragraph, the koteret, the title. Okay? Maintaining corporate culture for future leaders. So let's look at the vocabulary at the end. Entrepreneurship. We learned from the first unit on corporate culture that entrepreneurship refers to initiatives or people who take risks and who invest in businesses, innovation, finance, business, okay, into economic goods. So these are the actions of a person. The first one was C, entrepreneurship. Bottom line performance. The bottom line performance refers to the amount of money that a company is making. It's actually the profit. It's an informal term for the net income, achnasa, which is residual income after adding total revenue and gains and subtracting expenses, achrei hotzaot. This whole thing refers to money. That was in paragraph 2, bottom line performance. Okay? The word monitor. The word monitor does mean a device that is used for showing, watching, or listening to something. That's true, but not in this case. If you go back to the text and you look at the word in context, because we're supposed to look at it in the context of the word used in the text. If you look at the word monitor in paragraph 3, it says that understanding of corporate culture is one of the main things missing on boards, but they really need it if they're going to monitor what's going on inside the corporation. The word here is used as a verb. It's not a device. זה לא מכשיר. It's a verb. It's doing something. So monitoring or to monitor means to keep track, lakov, to keep track of something with a view to collecting information, okay? To keep track. So the next one is quantified. When we quantify something, we count it, okay? We count the amount, okay? To determine or express the quantity of something. And the word quantity actually looks like the word quantified. That's very important to note. They look alike. Redundant. In paragraph 5, they said that they cut hours, but they don't make the workers redundant. Okay? When they don't make workers redundant, it means they don't fire them, but they just cut their hours. They do not fire them. Redundant in this case means to be deprived of one's job because it's no longer necessary for efficient operation. To be deprived, to fire someone. Okay, and the last one is innumerable. And in paragraph 6, the last paragraph of the text, they said that Browning said he went to visit innumerable factories. He went to visit many, many, many factories. So many factories that he couldn't even count them. Too many to be counted. This was the only option that had anything to do with numbers to be counted. And here you have the word innumerable. And in the word innumerable, you see the root of the word number. Okay? So that is an explanation of the first test. And please review this before the next one so that you remember the strategies that were used for success. Good luck.